What's up, guys? I'm challenging myself today to do my top 5 scariest Stephen King books that I have read in 5 minutes or less. Drop me a comment if you've read any of these or if you have a book recommendation for me. Starting it out with number 5, Salem's Lot. In this one, we're in Jerusalem's Lot, Maine, with Ben Mears, who is a writer that's returning to town after a long absence, only to find that many of the people in Jerusalem's Lot are turning into vampires. Ben Mears starts writing a book about the legendary Marston House, which has recently been taken over by Kurt Barlow and his associate Richard Straker, a very bizarre couple, and soon after he begins his book, people begin to disappear. I love this book because the vampires are real vampires in this one. They're bloodthirsty, gruesome maniacs, and the plot builds up around the reader, or at least it did for me, in a really vivid and remarkable way. This is one of the most horrific books that I have ever read. Number 4, Needful Things. In this one, we're in Castle Rock, Maine, with Leland Gaunt, our antagonist, and Alan Pangborn, the sheriff. Leland Gaunt is a newcomer to the town, and he opens up a junk store, a thrift store, and he has a really unusual way about bargaining for the items in his store. You can't just outright purchase something in Leland Gaunt's store, Needful Things. You have to bargain in such a way that you owe Gaunt a favor, and that's how he lures his victims in. Alan Pangborn, it's up to him to stop the mayhem that ensues in Needful Things, and it's a very brutal, murderous novel of manipulation and deception that I really loved. Number 3, The Shining. In this one, we're with Jack Torrance at the Overlook Hotel. He takes his family with him to winter out in the hotel, working as caregivers for the winter, and there's a really strange set of circumstances within this hotel, the Overlook. You see, it's haunted, and Jack Torrance's little boy Danny has what we call the Shining, which is an intuition basically, where he can detect the paranormal activity within the hotel, and the ghosts focus in on Jack Torrance, the father, and they drive him crazy, and he becomes a real danger to his family. This is a classic ghost story. You're trapped in a hotel with all these menacing ghosts, a wide variety of ghosts in this novel, and it's a really gruesome one as well. Next up, number 2, Desperation. In this one, we're in Desperation, Nevada, and we're with an evil demonic entity referred to as Tack. Tack likes to use humans as hosts. He goes into them and he drives them crazy, and they rot from within. They decay and they die over time. And Tack has killed everyone except for one person in Desperation, Nevada, the sheriff, Collie Intragian. Tack uses Intragian to go out and arrest people in the nearby surrounding areas and bring them into the jail, the Desperation City Jail, and our cast of characters have to try to get out of the jail and survive, and Tack is an extremely menacing and bloodthirsty force, and it's a really interesting challenge and a hard challenge that our characters come up against in this book. They have to try to work together to survive Tack, and this is a really, really great horror novel. And finally, friends, the most horrific novel that I have ever read by Stephen King, Misery. This one is all about an author named Paul Sheldon, a famous novelist who's out driving and he wrecks his car, goes off a cliff, injures himself really bad, and along comes Annie Wilkes, a super fan of Paul's. She finds her favorite author, takes him to her house, and imprisons him there. She locks him up in a bedroom, and you see, Annie is upset with Paul. She did not like the last installment in his famous series, Misery, and she forces him to write another installment, one that she will appreciate and enjoy, and she tortures him while he's there. I give Stephen King a ton of credit for creating such a horrific, suspenseful atmosphere in such a limited setting. Most of the book takes place in just a bedroom, and it's a fantastic read because of how much Annie Wilkes puts Paul through. It's a true horror novel. There you go, my friends. Those are my top 5 most horrific Stephen King novels that I have ever read. I have said enough, my friends. Please subscribe if you made it this far. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.